So, good morning and a beautiful morning. We're going to do a 10-minute flow, maybe 10, maybe longer, and just go with it and see how we go. So standing at the back edge of your mat with your feet 4 or 5 inches apart, beautifully tall. Forgive the microphone. Take a deep breath in, arms come up. Look up to the sky, the ceiling, wherever you are, and then just exhale your arms down. And again, inhale to come up, reaching high. Breathe out. So just let the breath come to you. Bend your knees and inhale and straighten your knees at the top. Exhale, bend your knees a little bit, drop your head, and we'll begin our roll down. Letting the head drop heavy in the roll down. You may find the mat easily, you may not. Once you're there, just bend and straighten your knees. Now your hands may be touching, you might be on fingertips, you might be flat palms. But what I want you to do is whenever you bend your knees, drop your head, straighten your knees and look up. Bend and drop. Straighten, look up. And then this time, straight knees, drop your head round back, bend your knees, look up. So you just flipped it. And then really when you straighten your legs and drop your head, try to get a big an arch through the back as you can, spreading your shoulder blades. Beautiful feeling down the whole back chain. From this round back position, walk your hands forward, letting the heels come up so you can find your plank. And then we'll just go from a downward dog straight into your plank. Again, long body line, sinking down through the heels. Beautiful feeling in your down dog. If your heels don't touch the floor, no big deal, but let's take a little walk. Just loosen it up. Start to focus a little bit more on length from the tail to the head, which will help you draw your abdominals in. When you find that length, your abdominals kind of want to go in. And then from there, both heels drop. Let's let that right leg come up and open. Let the chest turn a little bit. My face goes towards the sun. Beautiful. Right leg coming forward and placing it outside your mat. Straighten and bend. So again, finding a stretch. Head drops when you're in this position. Head lifts when you're here. And you can play around with this back knee. Maybe it wants to bend a little bit more for your body. Maybe it wants to straighten. And one of them, you'll go, ooh. Now on here, we'll come forward into a twist and back. Forward twist. Down, we've just got one more. Beautiful opening through the chest. Stepping the right leg back. And then the left leg will come up and open. Left leg step outside the mat. And same thing again, just the stretch to begin. Again, play around with what your back leg wants to do. Maybe it wants to bend a little bit here, head goes up. Maybe it wants to stay straight when you're here. Always tuning into what your body asks for on the day. Adding in the twist, open the chest, and drop down. Open and drop. And just every now and again bring awareness to your feet, making sure 5 toes on each foot are pressing down. Back leg, left leg comes back. And once more into that down dog. Bending your knees. Just a little cat stretch. My hands are more forward than a normal hands and knees position. No problem today. Sometimes it just gives you more length, but it also enables me to sit back and come forward. So start to rock around that shoulder joint, bringing my neck beautifully long. Again, find length from the tail to the head. So as I'm sitting back, it's almost like my head is being pulled forward and my hips are being pulled back, and in the middle I just lift the belly into the body. Such a nice feeling. From there, let's stay back a little bit. My left hand's coming under. I kind of thread the needle, but not a big twist. It's just more of a little reach under. And if my hands are at 12 o'clock right now, my left hand right now is reaching to the 1 o'clock mark. When I go the way, this hand reaches to kind of the 11 o'clock mark. I'm going to do that one more time each side, and I push my hips back as I reach the hand forward to give me that extra oomph. And coming down, picking up. Now bring left leg under you, take a seat, pose. Always a pose. Reach the right arm to the ceiling, coming up. Now your right foot will turn to the front, reach high, lift, and stretch back. Now, right hand, let's hold the right leg, and if it's available to you, let that left leg come up. Bring it down, and you'll spiral back under. If that's not available, you just keep both feet on the floor. I'll show you that version now. Lift, and even this hand could go down, and you just stay here. Again, you could keep two hands down, do that lift, or you can just take a moment to try to balance there. Sweeping underneath, strong through this arm, long through that neck to come down. It's so beautiful. Last one. So you can take a nice side bend and then the twist. Again, this hand can just reach up, under, support you here. Toes pressing down on that leg, sweeping it under and over. Flowing round to the other side. Again, set in a long line, hand hip to heel. Reach, stretch, lift, turn the left foot, hold the left leg if you wish, you pull yourself in. And again, an extra balance challenge is to lift the right leg and a bigger stretch on this left leg. Beautiful smile. Reach, over. Again, maybe two hands want to go down. You can just push to here. This leg might come up, it might bend. Maybe you want that open leg there, or that arm here for balance, possibly this leg straight. So much is where you at today. Again, float up through that underarm, high, stretch over, hold, lift. Balance challenge is amazing here. You're going to bring that leg down, hand down, find your down dog this side. Then push into the heels, find that length again, remember from the head to the butt. Forward into your plank, back into down dog. So this is such a great movement forward and back to really think about how your shoulders are setting in your plank. So arms staying strong, not in their hyperextension. So you have an arm spiral, which is an outward feeling in your upper arm, an inner feeling in the lower arm. And then on that last one, again, bringing your knees down, sitting back, without touching bum to heels, roll yourself up to a high kneeling position. Right leg stepping forward, back toes tuck under. So my left leg is my back leg, left hand behind the head. Pick that elbow up to the ceiling. You lean forward, lean over to the right and come back. So back toes tucked, back heel pushes back as you come across. So what I'm doing is I'm using this lift from my scapula to get me more stretch down the side body, a little bit into the hip. And turning here, a little bit open to that back leg, direct that elbow over the head, and it's such a beautiful stretch. Hand comes down, push back, hand down, down dog. Left leg coming forward, grab it if it doesn't make it. Knee goes down. Again, keep those toes tucked under on the back. Right hand this time behind the head, lift up through the rib cage. Lean forward, side bend to begin. Back up. So you're moving through the stretch, which for me, I prefer a lot of the time, especially if I've just been active, rather than long static hold, moving stretch kind of mode, the tissues go, and then they release. So this time, coming down, use that other arm to support you in any way you can. Push that elbow up, open. Hopefully you might be in a beautiful place where I am with a wonderful sky. Bringing it down, stretching back, down dog. Okay, and what you might notice is the more you do all that, the heels start to drop down a little bit more. So you get more length through the back of the leg. Okay, stepping right foot for me forward so I can turn to you. If you struggle to find the full plot block or something here to lift you, what you're going to do is bend one leg and then the other. So you're shifting across. Lovely, lovely feeling. Again, push into the little toe edges. If you can take your legs wider, take them wider. Or if they can't go so wide, go to where you can. Then also turn the toes out to 10 and 2. And start to let, so if my left leg's bending, my right elbow's dropping and flipping, okay? So you just add in a slightly head turn too, which starts to give us some more mobility through the spine, which is also a good thing. And a lot of stretch coming possibly through the back of your knee, depending on where your tightness is. Shifting over to the right, dropping into a deep. Okay, so my heel doesn't go down. That's because of where my body's at with it, and it's all good. From here, lifting, right hand on the floor, left arm reaches the ceiling, and just check out my left foot is going to point flex. And then coming across a little bit more with this arm, circling it down around so I can creep across to the other side, getting stuck on my mat. What can I say? Adjust where need be, encourage this heel down, and if it goes, it goes. Hand where you need to for balance. It's often nice to put the hand on the elbow together. Reach, stretch. Maybe you want your hand behind your head. Point and flex that other foot. So when you point, you will get a different lengthening feeling out. And that's just why we do these things. Reach an arm over, circle it down, come on up, point the feet forward. One hand in the center, again use the block if need be. Now really focus on the hips staying still. So you can put your hands on your hips and turn here. So because I'm turning to the right, I'm kind of lifting my left butt up to help me stay still. If you want to stretch that arm to the ceiling, you can, but again, really focus on trying to keep the hip as steady as you can. Changing sides, which is why now I'm on my right hand, I'm going to really push into the right foot, the right sit bone back, turn and open the chest, arm comes up. And it does feel really nice to stretch out this way. If your shoulder's not happy with that, keep it behind you there. That's still a good stretch. Hands come forward a little bit, and then you'll just rock back and forward. If I show you that from the side view, so my hands are forward, I just rock backward and forward. So more on my heels, more on my toes. I'm constantly pushing into the little toe edges of my feet, long through the back, long through the neck, lifted in the belly, and then walking the feet a little bit in. Little hop there, why not? Elbows on the knees, sit down into a Hindi squat. Not a squat that I'm good at, okay? I turn again to you, because I've got tightness through my calves. You can sit like this too. If you're able to just drop into it, what I'm going to suggest you do is lift, okay? So you don't just hang on your hip joints, you've got activity, knees and elbows. You can use your arms like this to push and see how much you can just sink with integrity. So I'm still holding my body, not just collapsing into it. Nice. Hands come down, fold yourself over, walk your feet again to 4 inches apart. Please let your head hang. Notice with any luck that this is now a little bit looser than when you started this routine. Take a couple of breaths. And if you can't find the floor and you're up here, just hold your elbows and let that heaviness come into your arm bones. And you can hang them. On your next out breath, you'll start to roll up. Lifting up through the front, letting the back drop down. Take a deep breath when you're in your up, arms come up. Again, head lifts if you feel okay with that. Arms float back down. Stand in your most glorious posture. Thank you. Go and enjoy the day. Just a lovely, beautiful opening sequence there, mostly in standing. So if you didn't have a mat, you could do that anywhere you want. And like I say, I hope you have such beautiful blue skies I do. Okay, thanks very much.